What if I told you that you don't need a new hairstyle, makeup routine, or even a new wardrobe to look instantly younger, just the right colors? After 60, it's not our wrinkles or gray hair that age us most. It's often the shades we keep wearing out of habit. The black we once called classic suddenly feels harsh. The beige we loved in our 40s starts to wash us out. And yet, there are colors, rich, soft, balanced tones that can lift your face, brighten your eyes, and make your entire presence feel quietly luxurious. Think about it. You've seen women your age walk into a room and seem to glow. Not because they're dressed in designer labels, but because the colors they wear look like they were made for them. Their blouse echoes the warmth of their skin, their scarf makes their silver hair shimmer, their dress brings light to their face. That's not luck, it's color psychology. After 60, our undertones soften, our contrast fades, and the same hues that once made us radiant can now dull our complexion. But here's the empowering truth. When you learn how to choose colors that match who you are today, you reclaim the glow that no serum or facelift can buy. Color becomes your secret weapon, a way to frame your face, smooth your skin, and send a silent but powerful message: I'm still here, vibrant and confident. In this video, we'll explore 7 colors that have the magical ability to make mature women look instantly more expensive, more youthful, and more refined without ever chasing trends or overdoing fashion. You'll also discover how subtle shifts in undertone and texture can change how the world sees you and how you see yourself. So, before you reach for that same black sweater tomorrow morning, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only know which shades bring your beauty forward, but you'll feel inspired to build an ageless color palette that celebrates exactly where you are in life. Let's begin with the most quietly powerful shade of all, the color that replaces black as the foundation of true elegance after 60. Part 1: Deep Navy, the softer black. If black has been your comfort zone for decades, you're not alone. For many women, black once symbolized elegance, simplicity, and confidence. But after 60, as our natural contrast softens and our skin loses a bit of its youthful brightness, black can suddenly feel like it's working against us. It absorbs every shadow, deepens every line, and sometimes makes the face appear tired, even on days when you feel completely alive inside. That's why deep navy becomes such a revelation. It gives you every ounce of sophistication black once offered, but with none of the harshness. Deep navy lifts instead of drains. It brightens instead of flattening. It creates definition without overwhelming your features. Imagine it as a soft spotlight framing your face, adding clarity and smoothness that feels natural, not forced. Women with silver, gray, salt and pepper, and cool blonde hair often experience the biggest transformation. Navy makes their hair look almost luminous. The contrast is gentle, elegant, and quietly striking, like candlelight on polished metal. Color researchers have long noted that navy sits in a sweet spot of contrast. It's deep enough to define the face, but soft enough to flatter mature skin. A 2021 study in the Journal of Color Research even showed that people perceive faces framed by soft, dark hues, like navy, as more awake and balanced than faces framed by pure black. It's a small shift with a surprisingly powerful visual impact. Think of a woman named Marion, 67, one of my longtime clients. For years, black was her identity: black tops, black cardigans, black dresses. One day, she stood in front of the mirror and said, "Why do I suddenly look tired no matter how much I sleep?" We swapped just one piece, her black turtleneck, for a deep navy V-neck. She gasped. "I look like myself again." Her eyes sparkled. Her cheeks looked smoother. Her hair looked brighter. Nothing else changed, only the color. That's the magic of navy. It doesn't demand attention, it earns it. To get the most out of this color, focus on pieces worn close to the face. A navy blazer instantly sharpens your posture and makes everything: silver jewelry, pearl earrings, soft pink lipstick look more intentional. A navy knit top smooths the complexion and makes your eyes the focal point. A navy scarf wrapped gently around the neckline softens the jaw and adds lift without any trickery. Fabric matters too. Matte or softly textured materials showcase navy's richness best. Wool, crepe, cashmere, high-quality cotton, these create depth and give the shade that quiet luxury finish. Shiny navy, especially in thin synthetics, can cheapen the effect and make the color look flat. When navy is done right, it communicates authority without intimidation. It feels confident without aggression. It's the color of a woman who knows exactly who she is. Navy also pairs beautifully with the other elevated shades that flatter mature skin. Camel, ivory, soft blush, charcoal gray, muted gold, and burgundy all come alive next to it. Even denim on navy looks polished rather than casual. This is why navy becomes the foundation of an ageless wardrobe. You can build dozens of outfits from it without ever repeating the same look. If you've relied on black to feel put together, think of navy as black's wiser, kinder sister. It gives structure without severity, definition without darkness, elegance without age. And once you experience how navy softens your features, you'll start noticing how other, deep, luxurious colors can bring similar magic into your wardrobe. Which brings us to the next shade, a color that carries richness, confidence, and timeless warmth in every thread. Let's explore the quiet power of rich burgundy, and why it makes mature women look unforgettable. Part 2: Rich burgundy, the color of quiet power. If navy is the softer black, then burgundy is the wiser red, a shade that carries warmth, depth, and luxury without ever tipping into harshness. Women over 60 often tell me they can't wear red anymore, that it feels too bold or draws attention to everything they wish it wouldn't. And they're right. Bright, high-energy reds can overwhelm softened undertones and make the skin appear ruddy or overly flushed. But burgundy is different. Burgundy is the elegant evolution of red, the grown-up version that flatters instead of fighting with your complexion. Where fire engine red shouts, burgundy speaks in a low, confident tone. It has the richness of red but softened with brown and blue notes that create harmony with mature skin. Imagine the smooth color of a fine Merlot in a dimly lit restaurant, that quiet glow, that velvety depth. That's the same effect burgundy has on your face. It restores warmth without exaggerating texture. It adds vitality without adding noise. There's a psychological dimension too. Studies in color psychology consistently show that deep red tones are associated with sophistication, confidence, and competence. One 2019 behavioral study even found that deeper reds like wine, berry, and Merlot were perceived as more trustworthy and refined than bright reds. Perhaps that's why burgundy appears so frequently in upscale branding, luxury interiors, and classical art. It signals richness, but in a calm, grounded way. For women over 60, this matters. Because the colors you wear don't just change how others see you. They change how you feel in your own skin. Let me tell you about Ellen, 72, who came to me convinced she had become too washed out for color. She lived almost exclusively in neutrals, because red felt too aggressive now. One afternoon, I draped a soft burgundy cashmere scarf around her neck, and she froze. "I look alive," she whispered. "Where has this color been hiding?" It wasn't that she needed something bold. She needed something that matched the elegance and gentleness she had grown into. Burgundy did that instantly. If you try only one burgundy piece this season, make it something that sits close to the face. A burgundy blouse can brighten the eyes and neutralize sallowness. A burgundy sweater smooths the complexion and adds a candlelit glow. A burgundy scarf softens silver hair and makes it shimmer beautifully. And if you enjoy makeup, a burgundy lip, nothing too brown, can be transformative. It adds definition without any harshness. Burgundy pairs beautifully with elevated neutrals: navy, charcoal, ivory, camel, soft gray. The combination feels expensive, even when the pieces themselves are simple. Burgundy picks navy exudes intellectual confidence. Burgundy plus camel feels quietly luxurious. Burgundy plus charcoal is modern elegance at its best. When choosing the right shade, pay attention to clarity. You want richness, not muddiness. Avoid tones that lean overly brown, they can look dated. Instead, choose shades described as Merlot, cranberry, deep berry, or wine. These have enough depth to look high-end while keeping the face bright. Fabric plays a role, too. Burgundy looks stunning in materials that hold color with integrity: wool, velvet, crepe, cashmere, satin. These create that jewel tone effect that feels refined and intentional. Thin synthetics in burgundy can sometimes look dull or flat, losing the luxury effect entirely. And here's the real beauty of burgundy: it adapts to mood and moment. It can be strong or soft, romantic or grounded, understated or rich. It moves with you instead of overpowering you. But as powerful as burgundy is, it's not the only shade that elevates mature skin. There's another color one you likely already have in your wardrobe that becomes pure sophistication when chosen in the right tone. It's warm, timeless, and universally flattering on women over 60. Let's step into the quiet luxury of soft camel, the third color that instantly makes you look more expensive and effortlessly younger. Part 3: Soft Camel. The color of understated luxury. If burgundy is the color of quiet depth, then camel is the color of quiet wealth. It's that unmistakable warm neutral you see in high-end European street style, on classic cashmere coats, structured handbags, and timeless knitwear. Camel doesn't demand attention. It earns it softly, gracefully, confidently. And for women over 60, it may be the single most transformative neutral you can wear. So many women tell me, beige washes me out, and they're right. The wrong. Beige absolutely can. But camel is not beige. Camel has life. It has warmth. It has a subtle golden undertone that brings light back to the skin, especially when time has softened your natural contrast. Camel doesn't drain the complexion, it illuminates it. Almost like a diffused candle glow settling around the face. There is a reason camel is considered a signature color of quiet luxury. In fashion psychology, warm neutrals evoke stability, intelligence, and calm refinement. They give off the impression of ease and confidence, not perfection, but presence. And presence becomes incredibly powerful after 60. Let me tell you about Marjorie, 68, who spent decades avoiding anything in the beige family. She thought it made her look flat. One day, during a wardrobe refresh, I slipped a camel cashmere cardigan over her white blouse. She looked in the mirror, blinked, then whispered, "I look warm again." That's camel's magic. It brings back a softness many women don't realize they've been missing. Not youthful softness, but refined softness. The kind that looks like you take care of yourself. Because camel works with mature undertones instead of fighting against them. It lifts the face, warms the cheeks, and makes fine lines appear gentler. And if you have silver, white, or salt and pepper hair, camel may be your new best friend. The blend of warm fabric against cool-toned hair creates a contrast that feels chic, modern, and incredibly expensive. The key, though, lies in choosing the right camel. Avoid grayed-out, dusty beige, they flatten everything. Avoid yellow-heavy camel, it can look dated. Instead, think in terms like honey, butterscotch, caramel, warm wheat. These tones feel alive, creamy, and luxurious. Fabric matters just as much as shade. Camel must look intentional. In quality textures: cashmere, wool, suede, structured cotton, it feels rich and elevated. In thin synthetics, it collapses into something dull. This is why camel coats have remained icons for decades. They are architectural. They frame the face beautifully. They make even a simple white t-shirt look like effortless sophistication. But camel doesn't have to be a coat. Camel sweaters soften the face. Camel trousers pair beautifully with navy, charcoal, burgundy, emerald, blush, and white. Camel scarves add warmth to winter palettes without overwhelming them. Camel handbags and shoes instantly elevate even the simplest outfit. One of the most flattering combinations for mature women is camel paired with white. It's clean, bright, and high-end without effort. Camel with navy is another timeless pairing, warmth meeting depth. Camel with burgundy. Pure luxury. And here's a small expert tip: if pure white sometimes feels too stark, camel is the perfect buffer. A camel cardigan over a white blouse warms the entire palette and brings light back to the skin. Camel is refined, but it's not the only color that rejuvenates the face beautifully. There is a shade that feels almost magical, one that makes the eyes sparkle, the skin glow, and the entire presence come alive with vitality. It's a jewel tone with centuries of history and an undeniable sense of renewal. Let's step into the richness of emerald green, the fourth color that instantly adds radiance and elegance to women over 60. Part 4: Emerald Green, the jewel tone of renewal. Among all the colors a woman over 60 can wear, emerald green is perhaps the most breathtaking. It's the shade that doesn't just sit on the body, it awakens the entire presence. Think of lush forests after rain, the deep glow of gemstones under soft light, the richness of nature at its most vibrant. Emerald has always symbolized renewal, clarity, balance, and life. And when mature women wear it, something remarkable happens. The face lights up in a way no other color can replicate. What makes emerald so powerful is its perfect harmony of pigments. It blends the coolness of blue with the warmth of yellow, creating a tone that's both energizing and soothing, a rare balance in color theory. This equilibrium is exactly why emerald flatters nearly every skin tone and undertone. On mature skin, especially skin that has softened or cooled with age, emerald doesn't compete. It complements. It restores contrast without harshness. I worked once with a woman named Elaine, 72, whose style had grown muted over the years. She'd resigned herself to grays and neutrals, believing color was for younger women. One day, I held up an emerald green silk blouse next to her silver hair. She blinked, startled, and whispered, "I look awake." That's the magic. Emerald doesn't age you, it animates you. It makes the whites of your eyes brighter, enhances blue, brown, hazel, and green eyes, and gives the complexion a subtle luminosity that feels youthful but never juvenile. Psychologically, emerald carries a sense of dignity. It suggests maturity, not the kind defined by age, but by depth, wisdom, and grounded confidence. It's bold, yet not loud. Commanding, yet not demanding. It's the color of a woman who has lived, learned, and settled into her skin with poise. And the fabric you pair with emerald matters. When the shade sits on silk, satin, velvet, structured crepe, or fine knitwear, it takes on a jewel-like clarity. That's why emerald evening dresses often look unforgettable. They glow without sparkle. But emerald is just as stunning in everyday pieces. A cardigan layered over neutrals, a blouse paired with navy trousers, or even a softly textured scarf that sits close to the face. These touches create instant elevation with zero effort. For women with silver, gray, or white hair, emerald is one of the most striking choices in the entire color spectrum. The cool toned hair and the deep green reinforce each other beautifully, creating contrast that looks refined, modern, and expensive. If your hair is darker, emerald adds a vivid richness, like light cutting across polished stone. Even in accessories, emerald has transformative power. A pair of emerald earrings, a green pendant, or a handbag in deep jewel green becomes a statement without feeling flashy. It's intentional elegance, nothing more, nothing less. But here's the important part: not all greens are created equal. Neon greens, lime greens, or ultra-bright shades tend to emphasize redness in the skin and can feel too youthful, almost artificial. What you want is a mid to deep emerald with clarity, rich, saturated, luxurious. Emerald is the color you wear when you want to feel alive again. When you want people to see the brightness in your eyes, the warmth in your smile, the vitality in your presence. It's not a color of hiding. It's a color of becoming. And while emerald brings bold, elegant energy, the next shade brings something different: structure, refinement, and a kind of sophistication that anchors your entire wardrobe. If black ever felt too harsh, but you still love depth, the next color may be the answer. Let's continue with charcoal gray, a refined alternative that flatters mature skin like few neutrals can. Part 5: Charcoal gray, the elegant alternative to black. There comes a moment, usually somewhere after 60, when many women begin to sense a quiet shift. The colors they once relied on no longer give them the same energy, brightness, or definition. And for a huge number of women, this moment arrives with one surprising realization: black, the old faithful, has started to feel a little too sharp, a little too harsh, almost as if it's casting shadows instead of lifting the face. But before you think you need to give up sophistication, let me introduce the shade that elegant women over 60 swear by: charcoal gray. Charcoal is black's softer, more refined sister. It offers structure without severity, depth without heaviness, and elegance without the draining effect that pure black can sometimes create on mature skin. If black is a bold exclamation point, charcoal is a confident, intelligent sentence spoken with calm authority. It doesn't compete with you. It supports you. What makes charcoal gray so flattering on mature women is how it interacts with softened features. As our skin tone changes, as contrast levels lower, and as silver or softer hair tones emerge, black can exaggerate the very things we'd prefer to minimize: shadows under the eyes, fine lines, or a cooler complexion that loses warmth under stark contrast. Charcoal, by comparison, reflects just enough light to soften those effects, creating definition that feels natural rather than forced. I once styled a woman named Margaret, a former attorney in her late 60s, who had worn black suits her entire life. "Black is my power color," she told me. But when we draped a charcoal blazer over her shoulders, she paused and looked in the mirror with genuine surprise. "I look kind," she whispered. And she did. She also looked polished, modern, and radiant. Charcoal didn't mute her authority. It made it warmer, more approachable, more dimensional. Psychologically, charcoal communicates strength with composure. It carries the sophistication of black, but with the emotional intelligence of a softer palette. It suggests clarity, stability, confidence, and depth without intimidation. It's the color of the woman who no longer needs to prove anything. She simply is grounded, calm, sure of herself in a way that doesn't require explanation. Charcoal gray also has extraordinary versatility. It works beautifully in structured pieces that define your silhouette: blazers, trousers, knit dresses, tailored coats. In these fabrics: soft wool, textured crepe, cashmere blends, charcoal takes on a luxurious richness. It frames the face without overwhelming it. It adds polish without stiffness. Even in casual wear, a charcoal knit cardigan or sweater softens the complexion and adds quiet sophistication to simple looks. But one of the reasons charcoal is so powerful for women over 60 is how effortlessly it pairs with both neutrals and jewel tones. Camel looks richer beside it. Blush pink glows against it. Emerald green becomes even more striking. Navy, ivory, burgundy, and soft white all harmonize beautifully. Charcoal is the anchor shade that supports the rest of your wardrobe, the subtle foundation that makes your other colors feel intentional and elevated. For women with silver or gray hair, charcoal is a dream. The tones echo one another, creating a cohesive, modern, elegantly monochromatic effect that looks stunning on camera and even better in person. For darker-haired women, Charcoal offers a smoother transition than black, creating a balanced silhouette from head to toe. There's just one caution: extremely light grays can wash out the complexion, creating an ashy or muted effect that feels dull rather than elevated. The magic lies specifically in charcoal, the deeper, richer, balanced end of the gray spectrum that feels luxurious rather than flat. Charcoal gray is the new neutral of timeless sophistication, the quiet alternative to black that keeps you polished without pulling your features downward. And once you begin wearing it, especially in pieces close to your face, you'll understand why so many mature women feel instantly refreshed the moment they make the switch. And while charcoal brings structure and refinement, the next color brings something entirely different: a soft glow, a gentle lift, and a youthful radiance that feels like turning the light back on. Part 6: Soft Blush Pink. The soft glow that returns light to your face. There is a moment in every woman's style journey after 60 when she catches her reflection and notices something subtle. Not a wrinkle, not a line, but a quiet shift in radiance. The gentle rosiness she once had in her cheeks has softened, the natural warmth around her eyes and lips has faded slightly, and certain colors she used to love now feel a bit flat against her complexion. It's natural, it's universal, and it's nothing to fear, but it is exactly why soft blush pink becomes one of the most transformative colors a mature woman can wear. Soft blush isn't just a pretty shade. It's a lighting effect. It recreates the delicate flush we associate with vitality, warmth, and freshness. Where stronger pinks can shout and neon pinks can feel artificial, blush pink whispers. It restores softness without infantilizing. It brightens the complexion without overwhelming it. It brings life back to the face in the most graceful and sophisticated way. I once worked with a retired teacher named Linda, a woman with a warm laugh and elegant silver hair that framed her face beautifully. Yet she often complained that she looked tired, even on days when she felt wonderful. One afternoon, she tried on a dusty blush sweater, simple cotton cashmere. Nothing fancy. But the effect was instant. Her eyes looked brighter, her skin looked smoother, and the shadow beneath her jaw softened. She stared at herself for a moment, touched her cheek, and said quietly, "I look like me again." That is the quiet power of soft blush pink. Color psychologists have studied this effect for years. Soft pink tones are known to create a sense of calm, comfort, approachability, and emotional warmth not only for people around you, but for how you feel wearing it. Unlike bold saturated pinks, blush pink doesn't demand attention. It invites connection. It softens visual lines and reflects light upward toward the face, which is why it makes mature skin appear well rested and gently illuminated. The beauty of blush pink is in its adaptability. It works across skin tones, body types, and personal styles. The key is choosing the right tone. Fair skin glows in pale shell pink, something almost translucent. Medium skin looks incredible in dusty rose or muted blush with a warm undertone. Deeper skin tones shine in warm rose, soft salmon, or peaches touched with pink. The perfect shade feels like a hint of natural warmth, returning not makeup, not brightness, but softness. Women with silver, gray, or salt and pepper hair are often surprised by how dramatically blush pink elevates their look. The contrast between cool-toned hair and the warmness of blush creates a romantic, ethereal harmony. It makes the hair appear shinier, the complexion clearer, and the overall presence more polished. On warmer undertones or blonde hair, blush blends organically, almost like candlelight settling across the face. In clothing, blush pink works best in fabrics that carry softness: cashmere, modal, silk, lightweight wool, fine knits, or matte cotton blends. These fabrics emphasize the refinement of the color without cheapening it. A blush cashmere sweater worn with white trousers looks impossibly expensive in its simplicity. A blush blouse under a camel coat gives the entire outfit a luminous lift. Even a blush scarf, loosely draped near the neckline, can transform the energy of an outfit without feeling like a bold fashion statement. What makes blush so valuable for women over 60 is where it sits in the color hierarchy close to the face. When placed near your neckline, collarbone, or shoulders, blush becomes almost like a soft focus filter. It warms the skin, smooths the appearance of texture, and gently brightens the eyes. It achieves what makeup tries to do, without requiring a single brush stroke. But it's important to avoid overly bright pinks, fuchsia tones, or neon shades. These colors create harsh contrast against mature skin and can make the complexion appear dull or washed out. Blush is powerful precisely because it is subtle. It complements rather than competes. It enhances rather than dominates. Soft blush pink is the color of graceful renewal. It's tender without being sweet, elegant without being rigid, and uplifting without being loud. It gives you back the glow life may have softened over time, not by masking age, but by honoring it with warmth and delicacy. And while blush fills your look with softness and radiance, the next color brings something entirely different: clarity, purity, and a crisp elegance that reads instantly expensive. Part 7: Pure White. The color of quiet power and timeless elegance. There is something undeniably captivating about a woman over 60 dressed in pure white. Not off-white, not cream, not ivory, pure, clean, luminous white. It's the color that stops conversations without raising its voice. When worn well, white becomes a symbol of clarity, confidence, and elevated simplicity. It tells the world that the woman wearing it is intentional, composed, and quietly powerful. Pure white has always held a psychological influence. In color theory, white represents order, refinement, and precision. Luxury brands and high-end designers use it deliberately because it signals high value without ornate decoration. For mature women whose features have softened, whose hair may now carry shades of silver, salt and pepper, or snowy white, pure white becomes more than a color. It becomes a mirror reflecting light back onto the face in the most flattering way. I once worked with a woman named Sandra, a former architect with striking silver hair. She always wore charcoal and navy, convinced white was too bold for her age. One afternoon, she tried on a crisp white blouse. No embellishments, no lace, just perfect tailoring. The transformation was breathtaking. Her hair shimmered. Her eyes brightened. Her skin took on a lifted, renewed glow. She didn't just look elegant. She looked effortlessly modern. She looked like a woman fully at ease with who she had become. That is the unique power of pure white. It creates an instant brightness that even makeup can't achieve. It lifts shadows from the face, softens the jawline, and smooths the look of fine lines. It brings clarity to your expression, making you appear refreshed, alert, and gracefully youthful. Pure white works particularly well for women with cool or neutral undertones, but even warm undertones can wear it beautifully with the right styling. Gold jewelry, camel coats, blush scarves — these pieces warm up the palette while allowing white to retain its elevated crispness. One of the secrets to wearing white well after 60 is choosing the right fabric. Cheap or flimsy white fabrics lose their sophistication and can appear transparent or dull. But structured cotton, textured knits, wool crepe, pont, cashmere, or matte satin give white the architectural elegance it deserves. They allow white to hold its shape, maintain its richness, and showcase its purity without distortion. A crisp white button-up is one of the most powerful wardrobe staples any mature woman can own. It pairs beautifully with navy, camel, charcoal, emerald, blush, or denim. A white cashmere sweater adds soft radiance to the complexion, almost like diffused morning light. White wide-leg trousers create a long, uninterrupted line that looks expensive even when the outfit is simple. And for women ready to make a more confident statement, a white blazer elevates every ensemble into something polished and intentional. The elegance of white lies not in extravagance, but restraint. White doesn't hide behind embellishment or complexity. It requires purity of design, clean lines, good tailoring, and confidence. That's why a woman over 60 in white often looks more modern than someone decades younger. She isn't trying to impress, she's expressing clarity and self-assurance. But pure white also has boundaries worth respecting. Yellowed whites can instantly age a look. Busy patterns on white can cheapen the effect. Overly loose white garments remove the structural precision that makes the color powerful. White demands care, good laundering, proper storage, and thoughtful pairing. But the result is always worth it. There's a reason white appears in nearly every old money, European chic, and luxury minimalist wardrobe. It communicates a life lived with purpose. For mature women especially, pure white reframes aging not as something to hide, but something to illuminate with confidence and presence. And as we bring this color journey toward its close, your understanding of how color shapes perception becomes even more powerful, because the next part is where everything comes together. Not a single shade, but the strategy that turns all 7 colors into your personal style language. After exploring 7 transformative colors, you may be wondering how to bring them together into a wardrobe that feels cohesive, intentional, and unmistakably you. That's where the Ageless color palette comes in, a personalized blueprint that ensures every shade in your closet supports your natural glow, your lifestyle, and the confident woman you've become. Think of it this way: younger women chase trends, but women over 60 curate harmony. They build a palette that works with them, not against them. When your colors align, something magical happens. Your wardrobe stops feeling random. Outfits stop feeling like guesswork. Everything suddenly looks polished, even the simple pieces. The Ageless color palette begins with 2 signature neutrals. These are your foundation shades, the colors that form the backbone of your everyday wardrobe. Navy, charcoal gray, and camel work beautifully because they offer depth without harshness and sophistication without effort. These neutrals balance softness and structure, creating a clean canvas for every other color you wear. Next, add 2 power colors, the rich, confident hues that instantly energize your look. Burgundy's quiet strength, emerald's vibrancy, deep navy's timeless authority. These colors give your wardrobe personality, not noise. They're bold enough to lift your energy, yet refined enough to never overwhelm mature features. Then choose one soft face framing color. This is the shade you wear closest to your complexion, your scarves, blouses, knit tops, or jewelry accents. For many women, that color is blush pink, ivory, or soft camel. These tones gently brighten the face, soften lines, and create a youthful radiance without makeup. Finally, add one accent color. Not a loud fashion color, but a subtle, signature touch that reflects your identity. A muted metallic, a powdery rose, a deep wine, or a textured neutral. This is the color that shows up in your handbags, shoes, belts, or jewelry, the hue that completes your palette like a finishing brushstroke on a painting. The beauty of an Ageless color palette is that every shade speaks the same language. Navy pairs with blush. Camel warms emerald. Charcoal anchors burgundy. White illuminates everything. You're no longer trying to match your outfits. Your wardrobe simply harmonizes, piece by piece, day after day. And here's the real secret. When you build your palette with intention, you also build confidence. You start dressing from clarity, not confusion. Instead of opening your closet to chaos, you open it to possibility. Everything supports your natural beauty. Everything feels like you. Now that your palette is complete, It's time to bring the entire journey home, because the true magic of color isn't just in how you look, but in how you feel when you step into the world with elegance and ease. Elegance after 60 isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming clarity, seeing yourself with new eyes, and choosing colors that honor who you are today, not who you were decades ago. When you step into deep navy or wrap yourself in soft camel, when you let emerald illuminate your eyes or allow blush pink to soften your expression, you're not just choosing clothing. You're choosing intention. You're choosing presence. You're choosing the woman you've grown into. Color is one of the gentlest, yet most powerful tools a mature woman has. It lifts the energy around your face, shifts how the world sees you, and more importantly, shifts how you see yourself. Nothing dramatic. No drastic change. Just thoughtful choices that make you feel more awake, more polished, more vibrant. The version of you that still exists beneath the layers of time, waiting to be highlighted again. As you build your own ageless color palette, you're crafting more than a wardrobe. You're crafting a visual language that says, I am confident, I am intentional, and I deserve to be seen. That's the quiet kind of beauty that lingers, the kind that people feel before they even realize why. And the truth is, the world notices when a woman steps into her presence with this kind of calm, refined confidence. So tomorrow morning, when you open your closet, pause for a moment. Look at your colors not as clothes, but as companions. Which shade brings you forward? Which one makes your skin glow? Which one reflects the woman you've become, experienced, resilient, warm, and unmistakably elegant? Choose that color. Choose the version of yourself that feels most alive. Thank you for spending this time with me. If today's video gave you clarity, joy, or a little spark of inspiration, I hope you'll stay with our community of women. Redefining elegance after 60. Because aging is not the fading of beauty, it's the refining of it. And you, my friend, are just getting started.